Okay there, hi, I'm back. Um, I made an earlier video, and this is just a continuance of that. I was talking in the topic of transgender identification. Um, and when did you identify with the word transgender or transsexual? At what age, and the circumstances of that? How it affected you, or can you even recall? A lot of that would depend on how old you are now. Um, anyway, while I was thinking about it today, I've thought about the subject many times, and I've reflected many times upon it. But, I heard and hear so often trans girls and boys, but trans girls coming out and saying, "Oh, I knew I was a transsexual when I was 5 years old, 6 years old." And it just leaves me, thinking, reflecting when I was 5 or 6 years old, thinking, gee, let me remember some moments in time at that age, what I was doing. And I can tell you, yes, on occasion I was playing with Barbie dolls with my little sisters, but that was just, we had playtime anyway as children, the neighbors, and I had a lot of siblings, and we would have make-believe all the time. But my sisters did have a lot of girly playthings, obviously, they were girls, and yes, I was a curious youngster, so I dabbled with that some, but that's not what my topic is about. Um, it's about being so young and hearing anything about transsexuals or transgender, and how, if it even registered with you at the time. Why would it? If you don't even know anything about sexuality yet, you haven't even experienced any kind of puberty, not that you have to, but those kinds of things are gender identity characteristics that would often maybe subject yourself to questionable things with your gender, such as transsexuality, or homosexuality, or lesbianism, or whatever. So it just kind of strikes me funny when somebody says, well, I was 6 years old and I did this, and told my mom I wanted to be a girl, and I've been a girl ever since. Well, there are a few of those cases out there, but not the majority. Those are probably very, very few cases, and they are extreme cases. Um, I'm going to draw a polarity here and say, I go to a transgender social function sometimes, and I find it a little ironic that, I grew up in the 60s. I was a 60s child. I was born in the 50s, but my era was the 60s, 70s, and 80s primarily. I was peace, love, and rock and roll. And, that's what we were all about in those days. Free love, right? But when I go to these social events, there's always seems to be some older transsexuals like myself that are war veterans. And they're transitioning now in life, or have been in transition for a few years. But they lived as men all their lives, and for whatever reasons suppressed and closeted and hid their sexuality the greater majority of their lives. And a lot of that was due to circumstances, due to ramifications of what happened to people if they came out as a homosexual, a bisexual, a lesbian. A transsexual was just like way out there. So I just find it odd. Again, people making claims that they identified they were trans at 6 and 7 years old. I think, or I give them the benefit of the doubt, what they're saying is now that they're in transition, they're young adults maybe, and they weren't 6 or 7 years old all that long ago, which is me. I have to fast forward and put it all in perspective, and they need to rewind and put it in perspective when they hear what I'm saying. That the whole trans community and the whole gay pride community has evolved so much in that period of time. We're talking about a generation or two. So, maybe, and today it's just out there more and they're subjected to it more. And maybe they learn about it at an earlier age. And especially if they're having any kind of gender identity confusion, it might be something that they can look at, kind of like, doing their self-examinations if they haven't sought any kind of professional help or parental help. I know for me that was true. I had to do everything from a self-exam and, trial and error to come to a conclusion one day that I had a female personality. And then it took me a long time to finally accept it. And my future videos are going to exemplify this more, and I'll be going back and forth, and it will really all kind of make sense if you follow and watch my videos, how it evolved for me, and the reasons. I'm kind of also talking about the reasons I haven't come out until the latter part of my life. But yet, when I reflect back, and on so many occasions, I knew that I was a female. I knew I had a female personality. And I'm going to have to continue this because I'm out of minutes once again. Sorry that it's all drawn out, but there's just really so much to elaborate on. So I'll continue it, okay? Bye.